Let's talk about books, baby. Let's talk about me spending money. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things. Even though I'm pretty much full of energy, I finally got my hands on more of these. This is the best Red Bull flavor to exist. It's the sugar-free coconut berry. Oh my God. And if you're gonna shit on me for drinking energy drinks, mind your goddamn business. How about that? I never claimed to be a health icon. So. Hello everyone, welcome back to my second channel. Happy 2023. I am about 99% sure that this will be the first video that I'm posting in the new year. So hello, welcome, happy to have you. New year, same old me, because I spent way too much money on books. So today we're doing a book unboxing haul. I did film some reading vlogs and some videos over Christmas break, so those will be coming out as well here in the next few weeks. But before we did that, I thought we would start the year off strong with a sit down, long ass book haul. Basically, I ordered quite a few books from Pango Books, and then I finally took my huge stack of books that I was unhauling to the book exchange store near me, so I dropped those off and then I left with more, so. And then lastly, I did have a gift card at Barnes & Noble, and they were doing 50% off all hardcovers for the holiday season. So I partook in that deal as well. So we just have a lot of books to share with you today. I wanted to make it like a book unboxing video, unpackaging, whatever. I see so many people do these where they keep their books in their packages and they open them live on camera. So we'll start with these and then we'll go into the ones that I picked up in person. If I include 2 packages, then I can call it an unboxing, right? Isn't that how clickbait works? I don't know. So both of these packages are from Pango Books, which is an app where you can buy and sell used books. I love it, it's great. Mainly I've been using Pango Books to purchase my middle school favorites that I just don't have on my shelf, because when I was growing up and reading a lot in middle school, I would just always check out books from my school library. So I would have like book 2 and 4 in a series, and my bookshelves just did not have all the full collections of my younger self's favorites. So I've been trying to repurchase them at a very discounted price. And every single book I got from Pango Books was under $4. So yeah, it's a steal. Here's the first package. It's really cute. They like drew a person and a cat and another cat on the back. What the heck? I also love shopping from Pango Books because the packaging is always so cute. All right, we're starting off strong. This is the last book that I needed to complete my collection of the Twilight books. So I finally got my hands on Breaking Dawn. I forgot how chunky this book is, holy shit. And this is in perfect condition, honestly, like, wow. Now I finally own all the books in paperback on my shelf, and I'm very excited about that. Maybe I will do a Twilight reread. I have been wanting to reread them, but I'm also scared to reread them because I'm scared that like I'll absolutely hate them and then it will like tarnish the memories that I have. Do you know what I mean? I think I at least want to do like one big reading vlog where I read maybe like 3 of my old middle school favorites, and maybe we'll read Twilight in that. I don't know, but either way, I finally have the full collection. This is gonna look stunning next to the other books. Next package has 2 books, and they are also the last books I need to complete a previously loved series. I actually did reread this series last year, and I loved it. I finally picked up the last 2 that I needed, and that is Catching Fire and Mockingjay. Hunger Games is right over there on my shelf. So now I have the full trilogy. I wanted them all in the classic original paperbacks, and I am gonna get the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, but I'm waiting for it to come out in paperback, so it'll all match. But yes, very excited to have the physical copies of these. And even though I can read them for free on my Kindle, I love having the physical copies of books that I loved as a kid. I have quite a large library of, you know, children's middle grade YA favorites. As time goes on, I want my personal library to have a huge wide range of books, especially because if I ever have kids, or if, you know, people in my family have kids, I want them to be able to borrow from my library and read some of my personal favorites from when I was young. And I just feel like The Hunger Games trilogy ages like fine wine. The books are so good, and so I'm very excited to have all 3 of them. So those are all the Pango books that I bought. Over here in this bag, I will just take them out one by one. I'm gonna start with the books that I got at my local bookstore. It's called Central Book Exchange. If you're in the Salt Lake City area, it's great, I love it. I take all the books that I wanna unhaul there, and then they give me points, and then those points give me discounts on their used books. So it's a great system. Speaking of wanting to build my children's library, I did pick up an entire children's series. This is a middle grade series, I believe. I actually have never read it, but I'm really excited to. They're making it into a TV show as well, and it's written by one of my favorite authors. It's the Spiderwick Chronicles, written by Holly Black as well as Tony Ditterlizzi. If you didn't know, hello, my name is Haley. My favorite series of all time is the Folk of the Air trilogy by Holly Black. I have it right here displayed gorgeously on my shelf. I read it last year. It was my favorite read of the year, and ever since then, I've just been slowly working my way through Holly Black's backlist. This is definitely, I feel like, her claim to fame. It's a middle grade fantasy little series. Since it's becoming a TV show, I'd already kind of been interested in eventually reading it, but then I saw these gorgeous editions. They're just little hardbacks. They have the deckled edges, and they're just so beautiful, and they had all 5. I just knew I had to get them. I got this entire set for less than $20. So that's a fucking bargain. The first one is called The Field Guide. I don't know if this is just me, but the cover with like the 3 kids is really giving me Series of Unfortunate Events. You know, that kind of vibe. Book 2 is The Seeing Stone. Book 3 is Lucinda's Secret. Book 4 is The Ironwood Tree. And the last book is The Wrath of Molgaroth. So they're gonna look so, so good on my shelf. And one day I'm just gonna sit and read them all because they're super tiny, super easy to get through. And I'm just really excited to immerse myself in this world. I definitely want to read more middle grade in 2023, and I think this is a great place to start. So, speaking of Holly Black, I also picked up another one of her books while I was there. This is The Darkest Part of the Forest. This is a standalone, I believe, YA fantasy, and it follows Hazel and her brother Ben. They live in Fairfold, where humans and the folk exist side by side. Since they were children, Hazel and Ben have been telling each other stories about the boy in the glass coffin, that he's a prince and they are valiant knights. As Hazel grows up, she puts aside those stories. Hazel knows the horned boy will never wake until one day he does. So that sounds interesting. It was only $4, so I brought it home with me. And I love the cover, actually. I love the little butterfly. Super cute. And the last book that I got from Central Book Exchange, I have not heard anyone talk about this book. I randomly found it in the YA fantasy shelf, and I loved the cover, and again, it was $4, so I brought it home, and it is called Damsel by Ilana K. Arnold. I'm not sure if this is a series or if this is a standalone. If this is a standalone, that's even better, but it's less than 300 pages. This is set in a world where every time the king dies, the son that is supposed to take the throne has to go out, slay a dragon, and save a prince and make her his bride. And I guess this follows a girl named Emma who wakes up in the arms of Prince Emery and doesn't remember anything. She just knows that he's claiming that he slayed this dragon and he saved her and she's gonna be his bride and yada yada yada. And so this follows her journey as she discovers that maybe not everything that she's been told is the truth. It just sounds good. I liked the cover, $4. Like, what else do I gotta say, you know? Plus, I really honestly feel like 2023 is going to be my fantasy year. Whether that's YA fantasy, which is mostly what I'm gravitating towards, or adult fantasy, I just feel like 2023 is the year where I'm just feeling it. I'm in such a fantasy mood. I just wanna read all the good fantasy stories. I read my first fantasy books last year in 2022. It quickly just became one of my favorite, if not my favorite genres. And honestly, I've been feeling a little bit burnt out on traditional romance. There's something about fantasy romances or fantasy with romance subplots that just does it for me every time. Now, let's move on into the stuff that I got from Barnes & Noble. I got 3 books. It's funny because I went in there because my stepbrother Brooks got me a gift card. It's down the street from Central Book Exchange. I'll just stop by, you know, while I'm out running my errands and spend my gift card. And then I walked in and I saw that they were doing 50% off all hardcover books. And I was like, okay, bet. I picked my stuff out, checked out, left. And as I was walking out of the store, I was like, oh shit, I forgot to use my gift card. I pretty much go to Barnes & Noble on a monthly basis at this point, so it's fine. I'll just use it later. But I did partake in the 50% off hardcover deal. I got 3 hardcover books. And speaking of New Year book goals, I really also do feel like 2023 might be the year that I transition from a paperback girly to a hardcover book girly, because I've read a few hardcovers in the past like few weeks and they're kind of hitting different. I used to really despise hardcover books because paperbacks are just so much more comfortable to read physically, but hardcover books just last longer and they look so pretty on the shelf. And there's just something, again, about a fantasy series on your shelves, all in hardcover, that just hits different. So the first book that I picked up is actually a graphic novel, and I'm super excited about it. This is Demon in the Wood, which is a Shadow and Bone graphic novel by Leigh Bardugo and Danny Pendergast. Basically, if you're unfamiliar, this is a graphic novel that follows the Darkling, who is a very popular character from the Shadow and Bone trilogy. And this is basically just like his backstory and more about his life. I love the art. I love the cover. I don't know too much about the Shadow and Bone trilogy as a whole or the Grishaverse as a whole, but I know it's something that I eventually want to read. Knowing myself, I feel like I'm gonna be obsessed with the Darkling, so I bought this. Some of you out there might be saying, Haley, why would you buy this if you haven't even read Shadow and Bone yet? But here's my dilemma, okay? I have not decided whether or not I want to fully read the Shadow and Bone trilogy and the Six of Crows duology, like in its correct order. I know I want to read Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. I feel like they're going to be 5 stars. I hear such amazing things about them. I have Six of Crows on my shelf waiting, but I've been in a sort of constant dilemma with myself over if I should just skip the Shadow and Bone trilogy altogether and go straight into Six of Crows, or if I should give it a chance and read it, or if I should just watch the TV show first. Like, I'm not sure what I want to do. But I think I've decided that since the Shadow and Bone trilogy is on Scribd and I can read it for free, that I will at least read the first book and give it a shot. But either way, I was interested in this graphic novel and I'm interested in the Darkling as a character. Ideally, I will read the Shadow and Bone trilogy, love it, and then read this afterwards. The whole Grishaverse is definitely something I want to dive into in 2023, so this will just motivate me to do that. The next book that I got is a little bit ambitious, but this is a book that I have been recommended by so many of you over and over and over. And I did start my book club, by the way. Our first book we're reading in January is The Song of Achilles. The whole book club takes place within my Discord server, so if you want to join, make sure you click the link in the description, come join our book club, read Song of Achilles. But in our little book club chat, I was talking to a few of you guys and Brandon Sanderson came up. And there were so many of you that were like, Haley, you need to read Brandon Sanderson, you need to give him a shot. I know he's like the king of fantasy right now, but his books and his series are all very long. So I asked a few of you in the Discord if someone was new to Brandon Sanderson, where they should start. And the most common answer that I've gotten was with the Mistborn trilogy, specifically the first book, The Final Empire. I've heard that this kind of can stand as a standalone, so if I read it and I decide Brandon Sanderson is not for me, then this is kind of like a good place to start and leave off, and I decided to give it a shot. It is normally like $36, but again, got it for half off. So it's about 550 pages, but the text is really tiny, so yeah. I'm gonna be honest, initially I was not really interested in Brandon Sanderson. I know he's super popular. Then I also discovered through my Discord server that he actually lives in Utah and he teaches at a university here. And I thought that was really cool. And he is Mormon, which I didn't know. And I grew up Mormon, so, you know, solidarity to that. Normally, I am not interested in reading books written by straight white men, let alone Mormon straight white men, but I trust you guys, and you guys don't tend to lead me astray, so I'm hoping that I love this. Speaking of ginormous books that are quite intimidating, that I hope to get to within 2023, I finally picked up my first R.F. Kuang book, and I decided to go with Babel. I mean, since hardcovers were half off, I got the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. I feel like I have never heard a bad review for any of R.F. Kuang's books, so I've always been intrigued and interested in trying one out. And initially I was gonna start with the Poppy War, but I figured I would start with Babel, considering that it is a standalone. So if I don't really enjoy it that much, it's not that big of a deal since it is a standalone book. But honestly, I think it's gonna be a 5-star read. Like, I don't know why I'm trying to kid myself. I think I'm gonna love this book. This was so many people's best book of 2022 video. When I was watching all my favorite booktubers talk about their favorite books of the year, so many people mentioned Babel. I don't remember if it won the Goodreads Choice Awards. It either won or it was like the second place. I've just heard raving reviews and I'm already interested in it. It's a dark academia, and I know it follows a group of people that are like translators for this prestige university. I know it talks about powerful racist institutions and rising up against them. Other than that, I don't really know too much. I kind of want to go into it with nothing but vibes. I'm excited to give it a shot. Again, I think it's gonna be a 5-star read. I feel it deep within me. Cause it's a new year, I feel like I'm in that mindset where I'm like, I only want to read books that I think are going to be 5 stars. Even if they seem intimidating, even if they seem scary. Last year, I read so many books based on people's recommendations online, and while I did have a good time and I did find some diamonds in the rough, there are a lot of books that I probably would have never picked up on my own if it wasn't for other people's recommendations. But this year, I really truly only want to pick up books that I think I'm going to love. And lastly, we have 3 paperback books. The first 2 are part of a manga series. This is the Cat Plus Gamer series by Wataru Nadatani. I believe there's like a total of 8 volumes that have already been published, but I think that they only have the first and the second one translated into English thus far. I did do a Barnes & Noble Bookshop with Me vlog a few weeks back, and I saw these and the covers instantly caught my eye, and ever since then I just couldn't stop thinking about them, so I finally caved. I also really want to get more into manga in 2023, so if you have recommendations, leave them in the comments. I would say I feel more drawn to maybe like a romance manga, a cozy manga, as opposed to like super action-packed ones, but since I'm very, very new to reading mangas, the only other one that I have experience with is Death Note, of course, which is perfect in every way. I don't really know where to go from there, but I could not resist picking these up because these look like my cats. Like, they literally look exactly like my cats. I love cats. I love video games. It just felt like a match made in heaven. These basically follow Riko, who is a 29-year-old office worker, and she basically every day just goes to work, gets her shit done, comes home, and plays video games. And that's her favorite thing to do. But one day she finds a stray little kitten and she decides to take it in, and this kind of follows their journey together. And it just sounds so fun and so cute. And the last book that I bought is probably one that I am like the last person to read, I feel like at this point, and that is Taylor Jenkins Reid, Daisy Jones and the Six. I really need to continue reading from Taylor Jenkins Reid to fully decide how I feel about her writing and where she sits as an author for me, because the only 2 books I've read from her, one was a 5-star and one was a 1-star, and I DNF'd it. So I'm still kind of trying to figure out if Taylor Jenkins Reid is the author for me. So far, it's been very polarizing, but out of all of her backlist that I haven't read yet, this one seemed to be the most interesting to me. This book basically follows a Fleetwood-esque band called Daisy Jones and the Six in the late 60s, and it's all told in an interview. As you can see, the concept of following a band and all the drama and, you know, the controversy within the band itself sounds super, super interesting to me. I just don't know if I'm gonna like the interview format. If I don't love reading the interview physically, I have heard that the audiobook is great. So I think this is just the next TJR book that I'm gonna give a go. This is also becoming a movie or a TV show, I believe, one of the 2. So I figured I might as well read it before that comes out, because I definitely am interested in watching it. And yeah, that, my friends, is every book that I have to show you in today's video. I hope you enjoyed this long, rambly, casual book unboxing haul. Welcome to 2023. I am so excited to bring you so much content this year. We've got weekly vlogs, reading vlogs, more book hauls probably, and whatever else you guys want to see. So if you have any requests for the year, please go ahead and comment them down below. Anything you've been dying for me to post, let me know. And also, while you're down there, please refrain from harassing me about still having my Christmas tree up, okay? Because I just really love the lights. I love the warm light. It's just so cozy. Like I don't want to take it down. That is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I will talk to you all in my next video. I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I hope you have a great day or a great night, wherever you are. Goodbye.